Life can hit us pretty hard sometimes, can't it? I remember seeing this young man, couldn't have been more than 25, sitting on a park bench. His shoulders were slumped, his eyes fixed on the ground, carrying the weight of the world on his back. We've all been there, those moments when everything feels like it's crumbling. That's when an elderly gentleman, probably in his 70s, noticed him. You could tell from his weathered face that he'd seen his fair share of storms in life. He sat down next to the young man, not saying anything at first, just sharing the silence. "Son," he finally said, his voice gentle but firm, "I can see you're going through hell right now. I won't tell you it gets easier, that would be a lie. But I will tell you something I learned in my 70 years on this earth. Pain changes us, but we get to choose how it changes us." He shared his own story of losing his wife of 40 years, his business going bankrupt in his 50s, having to start over when most people were thinking about retirement. "Each time I thought it was the end," he said. "But you know what? Those moments became the chapters that made my story worth telling." The young man listened, really listened. You could see something shifting in his eyes, like clouds parting after a storm. The old man wasn't offering empty comfort or telling him to just cheer up. He was sharing a truth that only comes from living through life's hardest hits. "The world won't wait for you to feel better," the old man continued, "but it will reward you for getting back up. Every single time. The question isn't whether you can avoid pain. You can't. The question is, what are you going to build with it?" Sometimes the most powerful thing isn't having all the answers, but knowing you're not alone in the questions. That day on that park bench, two strangers shared something profound, a reminder that our darkest moments don't define us, but how we rise from them does. As the young man stood up to leave, there was a new strength in his stance. Not because everything was suddenly fixed, but because he'd been reminded of something essential. That every storm, no matter how fierce, eventually passes. And sometimes, all we need is someone who's weathered their own storms to remind us of that truth.